Hi there, I'm Dr. Tim from Atlas Pacific Upper Cervical Care here in Durango, Colorado, and in this video we're going to talk about the effects of the writing reflex on the spine. The majority of primitive reflexes are integrated into our brains as infants. These reflexes create the majority of the movements we make, such as rolling, sitting, crawling, standing, walking, reaching, and even talking. For the most part, once we learn these movements, we won't need to learn them again. The movement patterns get integrated into the cerebellum section of the brain, and this integration frees up our nervous system to learn new motor patterns throughout our life. But one primitive reflex is different. The labyrinthine writing reflex, or simply the writing reflex, must always be engaged, and it is with us our entire life. So what is the writing reflex? Well, more than being a primitive reflex, the writing reflex is a fundamental reflex. It helps keep our brain, eyes, and body in relative balance with each other, as well as keeping our head aligned with the horizon and maintaining the balance of the body. It involves a complex interaction between the vestibular system, the visual system, the proprioceptive system, and interoception senses. The vestibular system is headquartered within the inner ear, and it coordinates eye movements, posture, equilibrium, and detects the position of our head in space. Now, the visual system, I think you know, is housed in our eyes, and the visual system also includes connecting pathways to the visual cortex and other parts of our brain. The proprioceptor system provides sensory input from muscles and joints, especially in the top part of our neck, the upper cervical spine, where the highest concentration of proprioceptors is. Now, the interoception senses, these senses help us understand our body's internal sensations, such as feeling hungry, thirsty, hot, or cold, and many other feelings we may have. Now, the writing reflex, how does it work? Well, it works as a four-way conversation between the vestibular, proprioceptor, visual, and interoceptor senses. Intercommunication from the upper cervical spine, inner ears, joints, muscles, and eyes all work together to interpret the body's position in space. The brain interprets this information and tells the muscles of the body how to position the eyes and brain so that they stay parallel to gravity. So how does the writing reflex affect the spine? Well, when the writing reflex is functioning optimally, it helps ensure that the spine remains in a balanced and aligned position. However, certain factors can disrupt this reflex and potentially lead to misalignments in the spine, especially in the upper cervical spine. So let's imagine for a moment that you've suffered a sudden jolt or impact, such as from a fall, accident, or sports injury. This kind of trauma can overwhelm the writing reflex, forcing the body to compensate for injury by adopting an abnormal posture or movement patterns, causing misalignments in the upper cervical spine. The writing reflex's purpose is to keep your head aligned with the horizon and body balanced. Once a subluxation occurs in the upper cervical spine, which we've talked about in other videos, the head is out of alignment. The writing reflex will then compensate by shifting the spine to bring the head back to level. Quite often, misalignments below the upper cervical spine are secondary to the major misalignment in the atlas and axis vertebrae. Now, other things that can interfere with the writing reflex and contribute to upper cervical misalignment include prolonged periods of poor posture, repetitive strain or motion, maintaining fixed positions for extended periods, or muscle imbalances. Now, muscle imbalances occur when certain muscles become overactive or tight, while others become weak or inhibited. So maybe now the question is, well, how can upper cervical chiropractic help? It's important to note that misalignments in the spine can have multiple causes, and the writing reflex is just one common factor that can potentially contribute to them. However, when the writing reflex is involved, a vertebral subluxation can affect the structural and functional integrity of the whole spinal column, as well as disrupt brain-body communication. The goal of upper cervical chiropractic is to correct subluxations in the upper cervical spine, restoring optimal health. A correctly aligned spine allows for more precise brain-body communication, keeping the writing reflex and other neurological operations not only right, but healthy. If you're interested in learning more about the writing reflex or upper cervical chiropractic care, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Give us a call at 970-259-6803 and feel free to schedule a complimentary phone or in-person consultation today. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.